Welcome to Success in Business. We are a panel of entrepreneurs who are here to share our nuggets of wisdom with you. And today our topic is stress management. I'm so excited about this. Aren't you, Patria?
I am too. So excited because I work on this daily.
So tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm a health strategist. I'm the CEO and founder of Health for Wealth. I also have a second side to that business. I manufacture a proprietary blend of women's supplements, men's supplements for overall health and hormonal balance, as well as my protein powders. But I teach people who are driven and ambitious that want to make those changes. They really are so busy. They invest so much in their career and, that are really relatable, whether they've, are not, they're lacking motivation or they're not sure to start, they're not unsure where to start to make those changes. And we work together to explore behaviors and habits to get a 360-degree strategic plan that's customized to your life. So it's based on your goals. And that way we keep you moving forward. And as you evolve, you build on those goals, and it's a process. So we start with really small tasks and goals, because you as an entrepreneur, we know it's hard to fit a lot of things in, especially when you have family. But the other thing as well is I developed, to make it much easier, I developed a 4-pillar method, and that's overall mindset, health and wellness, relationships, and finances. Those are the foundation of, if you take anything in your life, anything that you deal with, they will go fit into those categories, whether it's in business or in personal life, because you are one person. Separating and disconnecting, you have one mind. So whatever you do in your personal life, it will affect your career and vice versa. You just don't really know it that much. So, and that's what I do. I teach people how to live at their optimal level, at their best version of themselves. And awesome. I love it. I enjoy it, because over 40, science takes over, as we know. Things start to change so much, and you might be unaware, and you may not have all the knowledge and tools. And that's the other thing, getting the proper knowledge and tools. That's what it's about. Most people tell me, well, I don't know how to do this, or what about this? That's why Health for Wealth is here. We work together and we get the tools that are necessary for you specifically, and build from there.
Excellent. That's wonderful. I'll introduce myself. I'm Stacy McPherson, and I'm the co-founder of Happy Life Results. And my grown-up kids are on my team with me, which has been a fantastic experience. And I'm a business coach, and I help people get the success that they want in business without sabotaging the other areas of their lives. And a lot of times when you look for a coach, you want to find someone who has the lifestyle you want. Look at their whole lifestyle and be like, do I want to have exactly what my coach has? If so, they're a good match for you. But if there's something that's lacking, you want to look for a coach who has balance in all areas that you really care about, because when you do, then you find that you will learn to do what they're doing, and it's amazing. Like, having a coach who is well-rounded and has all of the areas that you care about. So for example, me as a coach, what I bring is I have been in a loving relationship for 30 years. This year it will be 30 years, and I have a loving family with 7 children. And you may not want to have 7 children, but at least you want to have a coach who knows how to balance business with life. And also 3 grandchildren. And I take excellent care of my health. Yesterday I went to a yoga class, and I do my own personal training. And so I haven't gone to a group class in probably 2 years. So I've maintained my flexibility and my strength just doing my own trainings. And I went in the class just kind of curious at how I would do. And I think I embarrassed the teacher, because I did everything. I did everything better than the teacher. And I think she was a little embarrassed, because she kept saying, on a good day, I can do this. On a good day, I can do this.
That is so funny.
But it was really cool for me to be like,
great.
My personal training is keeping me as fit and healthy and strong as the teacher would be, so that was really a benefit for me. But just keeping that to a high level, I just I joke about how I can do the splits, but it really represents a lot of focus on health. To have strong, to be able to do the splits, you have to be strong and flexible, and you have to maintain a healthy diet and be well. It's one of those kind of, I ran a marathon type of things. It represents a whole body approach to wellness, if you can do something like that. And so it just represents it. Having a six pack, something like that is very cool. And that's something that I have not at the moment, but I did 6 months ago. So, and then I'm cycling back. I'm moving to Hawaii, guys. I've got to get my six pack back.
Oh my God. You'll get it, because you always look amazing.
Thank you. Yes. So, so just bringing that, fitness and relationships and successful financial choices, like being that type of person is what you want when you look for a coach. And so today we're going to begin, and I'll have Patria go first, and she's going to be talking about our topic, stress management.
Yeah, I love this topic so much, because this is one of my biggest, it's one of the things that I really pay attention to in my business life as well as my personal life. With stress management, I do quite a few things. And like I said earlier, you are one person, and as an entrepreneur or an executive or someone that really invests so much in your career, a lot of times if you have stress in your career, you do bring it home, because it's internal, it's in your mind, it's never just leaving you. As much as you want to say you can compartmentalize, because any type of stress will affect any strengths that you have. So what I do personally, what I was ultimately doing to myself is one of my biggest struggles was prioritizing. Everything was a priority, and I wanted perfection. What does that do? We as entrepreneurs and people in business, we bring on our own stress the majority of the time, or our own worst enemy, because it's your thing. It's you know what you can do, and you want that result. And as you told me, Stacy, a while ago, stop looking at the end result. And it's funny, because I tell clients it's a process. You can't go from 0 to 100. So stop looking at the end result or where you want to be, and work where you are. What I ultimately do, I do 3 main things that I really believe will affect. They affect my personal life and my business life, and managing stress. First of all, I just recently implemented the ABC rule, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but somebody turned me on to this, because I was trying to use apps and whiteboards and calendar, everything, notebooks, to organize my priorities, but I felt like everything was a priority. So what I did was, the ABC rule is, you take A. It's so simple. Things that are going to be prosperous right now and effective in your business immediately, that you have to do now. B, you can wait a few weeks or a month down the road. You need them, you want them in your business, but they can wait. It's there. C, things that are just going to take up your time and really not be, conducive to what you're doing now. And that's what I was doing. I had so many things creating stress because I wanted it all at once. So in that stress fell and it was bleeding into my personal life, because I couldn't sleep. I was going, oh my gosh, how am I going to manage this? What do I got to organize this. So that rule for my business is helping me immensely. I love it. And it's simple, and it's not confusing. It's right there in your face, and it's so boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to try that app that you did tell me about, Stacy, earlier. So the other thing that I believe in, I am my own brand. So Health for Wealth, I live to keep myself extremely healthy. I'm 52. I'm more healthy over 40 than I ever was. But it's also what we know now, we didn't know then, and science has evolved. So the gym, okay. I cannot tell you how many people, it doesn't even have to be in the gym. Like you said, you are training yourself. You can be anywhere. There is no excuses. You have to I put my gym time and my trainer in the calendar, and it never deviate from it. I never will change that time. I work around that time. That is my main priority in my day, because that's my life. That's my health. And if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So stress management is that release of stress. That's my mental mentality. That is my body, my health. That is everything. And that endorphins, your hormones, your enzymes, it allows you, when your body is moving, it allows you to be happy with yourself, confident, fit, healthy. Now, I go to an amazing trainer. It was the best investment that I have ever done. He's a lot more than just a personal trainer for me. And I think also we talk in regards to my business because he's in that field as well. And I go to him 4 days a week because a trainer needs a trainer. And he pushes me to, I mean, I push myself harder than most, but no one pushes me like him. And the results are amazing with my mind, inside and out, my physical appearance, just everything as a whole. But I can tell you this, and I wanted to make a point. A lot of times when your body's in motion, it stays in motion. When your body's in rest, it stays in rest. Meaning, if you're not working out, you're not releasing that stress. You're holding it in. And what do? You get sleep deprived. You get sleep deprived and then you have no energy. What do? You feed it with caffeine and Red Bull and 5-hour energies. What that does, and I don't think people really know this, and this is a really great tip, because if you're feeding yourself artificial energy by caffeine, you are doing a total disservice. It's messing with your metabolism. It's acting eventually, if you're not working out and working off that false energy, you are going to keep that on a cellular level for up to 9.5 hours in your day. So if you're drinking or eating anything that has a lot of caffeine at 2 to 3 in the afternoon, you already wrecked your sleep, and you're not moving and you're not expelling that extra energy that you've put into your body. So cutting back on caffeine is huge. Now, my workouts, I'm at the gym 2 to 3 hours a day. I work around that, and I fit everything in for the most part because I manage my stress, and I leave after my workouts. I'm so energized. And I sleep better. I sleep so much better. So stress management is not only organizing on a book, it's organizing your body, releasing that tension and stress. And it's vitally important for your health, because you're going to constantly perpetuate that struggle all over and over again. It becomes a cycle, and you're doing a disservice. And what do? You are going to eat. You're going to get hungry at times that you're not hungry, and you're going to eat. You gain weight, you gain water retention. So there's so much to moving your body. Even if you go on a power walk your dog, I cannot impress upon you. Put it in your calendar, schedule it in your calendar. There's no excuse. If you can sit and watch the news for an hour and not move your body, you can schedule that in. Don't go sit and watch your child at practice. Watch the games. Go to the gym when they're at practice. Work out, walk around, do something. The other third thing that I really, really believe in, and I do a lot of coaching on this because it comes with your relationships, in any relationship, the relationship with yourself, your confidence level. You exude that. And when you have that confidence within yourself, you can enter a room and you look at people with your head held high, you're leading with your hips. I teach women how to walk, be confident, live that way. But I'm going to tell you, it's starting with that intimacy level. Having that intimacy within your life with a partner or spouse is so vitally important. Now, Stacey, you're going to be married for 30 years, which is fabulous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I know that, and your husband is very, very, so you're very, very supportive of each other, as my situation. So it is so important to have emotional, mental, physical support. And that word, sexual satisfaction. We're human beings. You know what I mean? That is a huge part of it, because you can release that tension and stress, and you have a way, an outlet to speak about your stuff. So it's getting out of your mind. So those are the things. And self-care, that goes in with my gym time, my facials. I do a massage. I do everything. My diet is spot on. I mean, that's part of my brand. My nutrition, I'm a nutritional and a diet supplement advisor. That is part of my brand. So I will tell you, I do want to let you know about the new segment on Networking Now that I will be on. It's a streaming TV show that you'll want to catch. I also have a podcast, a video podcast as well. I have had people like Jillian Michaels, Lance Carpenter, the country singer and songwriter, and George Ross, who's just an amazing entrepreneurial coach, and just he has a whole host of right-hand man to Donald Trump. So it's coming up very shortly next month. I hope that you catch it. But this is such an ideal topic because we all are our own worst enemies, and we, there's so many ways to remedy stress. You just have to really be mindful, and you really have to care so much about relieving that stress. The one thing I will tell you, one more thing, Stacy, is when you manage your stress, you take a step back and you're more relieved, so you can have clarity. You can get so much more done rather than being so tense, and you get more done and things start to come to you. So stress management is so vitally important because it's a silent killer, and it could wreck your life inside your body and out. So thank you so much for listening. I'm Patria Leone, the CEO and founder of Health for Wealth and H4W Supplements and Protein Powders.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we will link those things below on YouTube. We will put those in the comments. So look for those, the ones that Patria mentioned. Okay. This is awesome. Yeah. Patria and I are both very passionate about this topic, and we're so excited to share with you. So I'll go ahead and share my notes, my vision for decreasing stress or making stress be the most effective. And I'm going to get to that. Good stress and bad stress. Okay, so let's start out with a visual. You're imagining that you're walking through a field, and there's a path through the middle of the field, and you look around and it's just beautiful. There's flowers and there's this light breeze blowing, and up ahead you see some trees, and they're blocking your vision, but you can tell that the path goes down through the middle of the trees. So you're getting, you're walking forward, you're seeing this beautiful path and this beautiful field, and then you've got the trees, and behind the trees is something that you don't know what it is. So there's something there, and I'd like to have you think about what could be there, and it's just something that would be stressful for you. So we're imagining after we get through those trees, on the other side is something that's stressful. And I want you to represent that stress with something visual. So what is it that's beyond the trees? Maybe you see some smoke or some fire, or lava or something, maybe just a dark cloud. Maybe there's just like heavy mist, or a cloud below that, or above the trees. So you've got this visual, you're in this peaceful field and you see the stress up ahead. Okay, so imagine that you're going down the path, and you're heading to the trees, and you know what's on the other side, and it's very stressful. So what is it in your life that's stressful? And kind of put it visually, like put it on the other side of those trees, like you're going toward it. And so take a moment to really think about it. And if you don't feel like a little bit of stress, like heart, your heart beating, sweating, like you don't feel like kind of that trepidatious feeling, then kind of really visualize it, like really get into it. What the worst case scenario of your most stressful things, they're waiting for you. How do you feel as you're going toward it? And so a lot of times people will feel, that anxiety or intensity. And so just label those feelings, and then let's put that on hold for a second and talk about stress. So a lot of times, and actually I did this on purpose in my visual, I made it seem like the peaceful field was preferable to the stressful thing on the other side of the trees. I did it on purpose because a lot of times people do that in their minds. They're like, anything that's stressful is bad, and anything that's peaceful and beautiful is good. And so they live their life this way. And when they come upon stress, they feel like, oh, this is something bad, right? But actually stress is good if it's good stress. So we're going to talk about good stress and bad stress. And one of the things about good stress is good stress, it makes you stronger. It like you go to the gym, you put stress on those muscles, they get stronger. They get better at doing what you're doing. You're doing those bicep curls, you're getting better and better at doing bicep curls. You're getting stronger, right? So good stress is something we want. Think about mental focus. When you use a lot of mental focus, you get better and better. You get sharper. You get more skilled. You age better. Like it's better when you have opportunities to use mental focus. And mental focus is intense. It's stress on the body, but it can be good stress, right? So how do you differentiate between good stress and bad stress? You're like, okay, Stacy, there's this good stress and then there's bad stress, but how do I know the difference? So let's go back to our field analogy, and you're walking there, and I did this myself this morning. I was imagining going toward, and actually giving this speech was my thing that I was stressed about. Giving this spotlight because I felt so passionate about my message. And so like, I really want to get this message across. What if I can't? I felt stressed. So that's what I visualized. I visualized me speaking to you, and that was my stressor. And so I was like, when is this good stress and when is it bad stress? And I realized that okay, so let's go back to the analogy just a second. I don't want to spoil it. So imagine that you're there, you're walking toward your stressor, and try, if you can, pick one thing. Pick something that you're going to experience this week that you know is going to be stressful. You're just like, okay, when I do that, it's just going to be stressful. So I want you to categorize that thing and say, is it, number one, is something that you have to do? It's just, I just have to do this thing, and I don't want to, I have to. And number two is I have to do it, but there's something good I'm going to get out of it. Like I'm doing it, but I'm going to get, it's like paired with something good. So it's like, yes, I have to do this stressful thing, but it's because I'm going to get this good thing. So number one is just, I have to, and I don't want to. And number two is I have to, but I want to get some result, some good benefit from it. So think about it. And I actually want you as an audience, and also Patria, to say whether it's number one, and put your finger up if it's a number one, meaning I just have to do this thing. And number two is I have to do this thing, but it's going to give me something good. So put your finger up. I'm going to say two. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Two. One is like, I just have to do this thing. I don't want to, I just have to. And number two is I have to do this thing, but I'm going to get something good out of it. So it's like have to with a reward. Okay. So those are the two categories. And so, so when it's kind of like I have to, but it's worth it. Mm-hmm. So that kind of differentiates. Okay. So then so you realize that, okay, I'm going to kind of like, you realize that as adults, we actually can choose what is in our life and what isn't in our life. And I know it feels like we can't. It feels like life just happens to us. It feels like we just have to do things and we don't have a choice. But really, as adults, if we're doing something, it's because we choose to. Mm-hmm. And I would say 100% of the time, if we're adults and we're doing something, it's because we are getting something good out of it. We're doing it because there's some benefit to us. If there was no benefit, we wouldn't do it. Children don't always have that option because they don't have as much autonomy as we do, but we do. So I want to just give you that guarantee that everything is in your life because you want it there. You may not want parts of it, but you want something about it. So I kind of whiplashed you because there truly isn't two categories. There's only one category. And that is, I want something, but there's part of it that I don't want. And that's where we get the stress, right? Is where there's part of it that we don't want. Okay, so we're walking toward the field. We're walking toward the trees, and we've got this stressor on the other side. And I hope that you pick one thing that you're going to do this week and think about that one thing. And I want you to say, I could do that thing or not do that thing. It's totally optional. So in your head, you might be like, Stacy, stop. This thing is not optional. Yeah. Stop right
Totally.
It is not optional. I am stressed and it is not optional. But if there is something that benefits you, then you're doing it for that benefit. And as an adult, you have autonomy. You can have things in your life or not in your life. And there is something good enough that makes you do that thing. And so if you sit there and you're like, okay, so now I want you to just practice, say, I could do that thing or not do that thing. And honestly, really, you could do it or not do it. I mean, what would happen if you got in a car accident? You wouldn't be able to do it. You could not do it. There is a way that you could not do that thing. So what I want you to focus on is autonomy and choice. And this word choice is the difference between good stress and bad stress. Bad stress is when you feel like you don't have a choice. And good stress is when you choose. You choose to do that thing. And I want to stand here, right now, in my chair sitting. No, just kidding. I'm going to stand here and say everything that is in your life is there because you want it. On some level, it's giving you something you want. And when you focus on the choice that you're making to have that thing in your life, it becomes good stress. Something I choose, I want, I'm going for. It's good stress because you're choosing it. And if it's something you feel it's done to you, you're forced to do it, you have to do it, you don't want to do it, that's bad stress. And the only time that you actually are forced to do something that you can't do is probably only when you're a child. Like, I think as adults, we have so much more power and freedom than we realize. Even someone in an abusive relationship, they're staying with the person because they're getting some benefit. Even if the benefit is that they don't have to go into the unknown, they're getting some kind of benefit. So just realize whenever there's something in your life that you feel like you can't choose, you actually can, and you are. And once you own that power of optionality, I could do it or not do it, and I choose to do it, guess what? Your stress now is good stress. It's not the debilitating kind. It's not the kind that leads toward heart attacks and, stress that just, weighs you down and makes it so that you can't be healthy and well and mentally sound. It's not that kind. It's the kind that grows you. You grow, you get stronger, you are more capable. And so you want more of the good stress, the I choose stress, and less of the I can't choose stress. And whenever you feel like I can't choose it, look and see what are the benefits I'm actually getting and realize if I'm doing it, if it's in my life, it's because I actually am choosing it, which gives you your power back and takes back that feeling of overwhelm, stress, frustration, irritation. So now going forward, I would like all of you to not view stress as something bad. Stress is something very beneficial. We wouldn't like a life without stress. It would be boring and dull and we'd get sick of it in a second. Like, we don't want a life without stress. We want stress. It's exciting. It's energizing. We're growing. We're learning. We're progressing. We're becoming more of the person we want to be. It's what we want. We want stress. We just want the good kind, the kind we choose. So that's my message today. And thank you all for joining us.
That's fantastic. It's a great way to look at it. I would have never looked at it like that. You put it in a totally different perspective, put it that way. That is, and all my have tos going in as you were talking in my head, I'm like, wow, it is great stress. I think my whole business would be great stress because it's something that I want so badly, and I believe in it and I'm passionate about it. So great perspective. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us. And I hope that you will join us in the future and our panel, Success in Business.